YouTube, and it has been 6 months since I've been home in Alaska in my parents' kitchen, and if you haven't noticed, they remodeled. We have new countertops, new appliances, so of course we had to do a YouTube in the kitchen. And today what I'm going to be showing you how to do is how to make a protein brownie, because with my macros on bikini prep right now, I've been taking about 2 scoops of protein every morning for a shake. Yes, you can get protein naturally from meat and nuts and cheese, but it is very hard to hit 125 and up grams a day without supplementing powder form. Otherwise, you're going to go over in carbs and you're going to go over in fat. So this is one recipe I found that is super delicious because the Shakeology brand of protein is very thick when you mix it in a shake, especially if I'm doing 2 scoops, and so it works well with brownies. I don't subscribe to Shakeology, but my sister's a Beachbody coach, so she provides it for me. But this recipe will also work with just a generic chocolate protein. Like this you can probably find at Walmart, I think sells it. You just want like a really fudgy tasting protein powder for this recipe. So I'm going to start off by doing 2 scoops of protein powder. And there's also a cafe latte flavored protein from Beachbody that I tried when I first made it, and it worked really well if you like a coffee taste. But today we're just gonna do straight chocolate. If you aren't on prep and you just want a single serving with not that much protein, you can do 1 scoop and use a smaller ramekin, but I'm gonna do it in this size, and this is also 1 serving for me on my macro count. And then when you make a normal batch of brownies for like 12 people, it's normally about a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking soda. So just think you're dividing a recipe basically by 12 or 8, however many servings. So we're gonna do about an 1/8 teaspoon of salt and then an 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda. And baking soda is a leavener. It's how you get baked products to kind of rise and get a more fluffy texture. So if you didn't put a leavener in it, it's gonna be really dense and not fun to eat. So that's all you need, and we're gonna whisk it together. And then we're gonna do an egg white. We don't have egg whites in a carton right now, which is easier to use. If you did have a carton, I'd put about 2 tablespoons in, but we're just going to crack it and then take the yolk out like this. You just kind of pass it back and forth until all the egg white spills in there. And now the yolk's cracked, so we are done. Alright, now we're going to put in some vanilla extract, and this is for flavor. It doesn't have any calories, it just smells great and tastes great. And I'm probably going to do, this is like a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. The last ingredient is just liquid enough to make it like a batter. You could use buttermilk, you can use, I'm using almond coconut milk, you can use coffee, which will make it an even richer chocolate, and it would be way less calories. But since there's like no fat in this, I just want like a little bit of like fat to give it a better mouthfeel. So it's all up to how healthy you're trying to make these. And so I'm gonna start with about 2 tablespoons. That's 1, that's 2, and we're gonna see how it comes together. So it's still super thick, so I'm probably going to do about 1 more. It's all about like how thick you like your brownies, and almond milk has like 60 calories I think in like a cup of it. Oh no, 35 calories in a cup. So this is probably about a quarter or a third of a cup that I put in, so that's only 10 calories of milk I put in this recipe so far. But I'm gonna call it good. I like that consistency. And then we're just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of this ramekin, and then use a paper towel to just get the bottom and definitely hit the side so it doesn't stick. I'm just gonna spread it out a little bit, an even layer. Okay, in my baking mind, if you wanted to bring this next level, you could put dark chocolate chips in it, you could put coconut, you could put nuts in there. When it's done baking, I'm probably gonna put a scoop of almond butter on it or a scoop of peanut butter and maybe some dark chocolate, but I'm gonna put the macros on the screen for what just the brownie is, and we're gonna put it in the oven at 350, and we're gonna start it at about 12 minutes and see how it looks after 12. Steak. 12 minutes. We're gonna see how close it is. So still a little wiggly, so I'm gonna let it go probably 4 more minutes. Alright, so that was 4 more minutes, and when I touch it, it feels firm in the center. It's like a little spongy. You don't want to overdo it and make it dry, but it's not going to feel the same as a regular brownie because it doesn't have flour in it. So just, you want it firm to the touch, but not too firm. And then, since this has such little fat in it, you can put some toppings on it. And so almond butter is very good for you. It's going to add a little bit more protein. Has some carbs, some fat, but it's okay. So I'm going to top it with almond butter and then 1 square of 72% dark chocolate, and that's a pretty good percentage of dark chocolate.